beautiful people. Welcome in 2024. I can't believe it that it's already like past middle of January. Time flies, isn't it? All right, so today I wanted to talk about why we are holding to the past. Some of us are more psychologically and emotionally able to move on, while others cannot. And why I am talking about this? Most of the things that I talk about here are based on my own experience. This is where I was myself, and for a very, very long time, it felt like I stuck in the past, in this victim mode, right? Victim slash blame. So I would always blame my parents for what was happening in my present moment. Let's look a bit into our reasons why do we hold into the past, or some of us, right? So our brains always default to what is familiar, because familiar seems to be safe. Even though it is playing a victim role doesn't mean it's safe, right? Doesn't feel right. But for our brain, it is defaulting to what is familiar. Then identity attachment. So because we are living in this environment for such a long time, it is happening over and over again. It is also becoming our identity. By default, we are being attached to it, right? And again, because it's familiar, we become this. So even if we want to let go of it, it feels that maybe, I'm not saying it's consciously, very often those things are happening subconsciously. So we are not even aware, but it may feel as if if we're going to let go of it, we are going to lose part of ourselves, because this is who we became. And when we play this victim role, it's also very often subconsciously might be relating to external validation, right? Because we are always a victim and we get the attention which potentially we were not getting when we were kids back home. So it could be also one of the reasons why we keep playing victim role. And also changing, and what I said at the beginning, changing, our brains keep defaulting to what is known. So subconsciously we might be fearing a change, or we might be feeling what is unknown to us, right? Because if we suddenly let go of victim persona, victim mode, then we need to make an effort to change. We need to learn something new. We need to create a new mindset. So it's something new, something unknown, and something what we might be fearing. We might be fearing this change in our life. The stories that we are telling ourselves, as you know, whatever we keep repeating, it becomes our reality. So if we keep telling ourselves that we are the victim because XYZ, then this is what's going to happen. We're going to feel and behave like a victim, even though consciously we might be sick and tired of it. This was my case. I was sick and tired of always trying to always arguing especially with my mom, and trying to prove, that she is wrong because she did these things, raising me wrong, and I tried to prove it to her that, it is her fault, instead of just, let it be, let it go and move on. I couldn't. So by telling ourselves those stories, it becomes our reality. But also some of us, and this is another thing, that I was also addicted to drama. I loved drama. I loved arguing with people. I loved actually provoking situations that would end up in fight, in argument. So for us, by playing a victim, we keep feeling alive, right? This is what is known, this is what is familiar to us. But also looking at another side of it, a lot of unresolved emotions. If we are not dealing with those emotions from the past, which I very often feel like on one hand I was attaching to this victim mode because something was triggering me and pulling me back all the time to the past, but also I wasn't dealing with it. I tried to run away from it instead of facing it and, analyzing, dealing with it. So if we are not going to deal with those emotions, and very often it comes also with acceptance, right? We need to accept this darker side of us. And then when things come to equation, it means that those things want to be healed, that we are ready to heal them, but we need to sit down with them, analyze them, and then we are able to heal, but it takes an effort again to do it. And this leads me to another point. If we are lacking of coping strategies, if for any reasons we feel like we are all alone in it, we don't know how to deal with it, for whatever reason we are not looking for ways to heal, then we will be defaulting to those to the situations where we feel as victim, and we won't be able to deal with it because we don't know how to deal with it. And that's why it's good to have a support. It's good to have a support of coach, psychologists, possibly hypnotherapists as well. We hypnotherapists can show you why you keep going into this victim mode, right? And then help you to transform it. So having support, surround yourself with people who can help you. I had the help of two amazing women who were from outside completely. They didn't know my history when we met, and because of them I was able to heal so much faster, because they were opening my eyes, oh my god, it might be because this and that, look at these things, read this book because this is going to clear your mind, this is going to show you why the things are happening the way they do. So surround yourself with those people as well. And another part of it might be also our limiting beliefs. If we are lacking confidence, especially those with complex PTSD, it is very often the case where we are lacking confidence, our self-esteem is very, very low. Then there is this limited belief that we are not going to change, that we are not even worthy or enough of change, that our life cannot look differently because we are somehow cursed. This is something what I was going through. We people with complex PTSD actually tend to see the world in dark colors. Then it somehow it seems as, okay, now I understand why I've been holding to the past for such a long time, why I've been playing the victim role for such a long time, because of potentially one of those symptoms of complex PTSD. So it's important to understand those things, because once we start understanding those things, we can start shifting our mindset and learning new ways of living our life. So now I already touched a bit on what can you do to shift your situation, but now let me just go through the points that I have noted here. So the obvious point is mindfulness. These daily rituals are very, very important. So incorporating meditation, breath work, yoga, connection with the nature, walking, going to the forest, hugging the trees, all of those things need to be incorporated daily. We need to start doing them daily. Why? First of all, meditation, it helps us to stay in the present moment, helps us to being grounded, helps us to start noticing what thoughts are coming to our mind, right? We are able to pick up, oh my God, I am again blaming my mom for this or blaming my dad for that, you know. So meditation actually helps you to pick up what's going on. And during these days where, because you know, healing is a bumpy road, isn't it? We are going from up and downs, right? On those days when we are lower, we need to do more of those practices. And what someone recently told me is, you know, at the beginning we are trying to fit all of these practices into our lives, but then the more we do it, it's changing. We are aligning our regular life around those practices because we are starting to see benefits of it. Journaling is another way, because I'm not the best in journaling myself, I need to admit, but when we are angry, when we are upset, when we are again in this victim mode, take a pen and write it down. Take it out of you. You take it out of you and you put it on the paper. And over time, you can actually realize that, you know, this is a pattern. This is ongoing pattern that I keep defaulting to one and the same thought. And that's when awareness comes in, right? This is when you start noticing things. Oh my God, you know, this is how I am doing it. And when you are aware, that's when you can change it. Professional support, seeking professional support and surrounding yourself with the people who can help you, what I already said. What else? Setting boundaries. Setting boundaries is very, very important. Especially what I am noticing, sorry parents, but I am noticing that our parents believe that they are allowed to keep messing up with us. That's the easiest way of saying it. They feel that they can keep messing up and using all sorts of manipulations. My mom is the best manipulator in the world, but we need to set the boundaries, and sometimes we need to be very, very strict. It's either this or I'm sorry, I am removing you out of my life. And as drastic as it sounds, sometimes they won't take it until you put it on the line. And very often in dysfunctional families, these things work that way. It's very sad, but sometimes needs to be done that way. And if your relationship with your family is a bit different and you are able to set a boundary and those boundaries are respected, then that's fine. But sometimes there are other ways that we need to deal with it. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Another point that I have here is understanding the reasons why we keep defaulting to this victim role, why we are stuck in this victim role. This was a crucial moment for me in healing, understanding, connecting those dots, because when I became aware, I started understanding why those things are happening, and then I was able to pick them up faster when they were happening, understand why this was happening, and then I was able to change it. And this connecting of the dots is very important, in my opinion, in a healing journey. Doesn't matter if you are dealing with the victim role or anger management or relationship problems. Understanding why made a huge difference for me in moving on and finding ways to heal. And when we start breaking the cycle, you know, one time it's going to work, the other time it's not going to work, but more you start breaking the cycle, more you will be shifting the ways to the way you want it to be. And in order to do it, we need to heal our emotions. This is a process where we need to acknowledge, okay, these things are happening for a reason. We need to go and we need to deal with it. And when those things are coming to equations, they are coming to equation for a reason. Why? Because our subconscious mind knows that we are ready to deal with it. And that's when we need to address it. We need to acknowledge first that this is a part of me, that I need to heal. Once we acknowledge this part of us, then we can send it love, send it forgiveness as well. You know, forgive ourselves for keep repeating this cycle. That's fine. You know, it happened. But then we will be able to find ways to deal with it and to change it. And when we know where the things come from, then we can go and seek help with that specific problem if we have to, right? And take into consideration hypnosis, because sometimes we are aware where the things come from, but these are not necessarily the reasons why we could keep doing it. In hypnosis, I found so many things that I didn't know about myself, and they were like, oh my God. And it's also playing a victim with my, well, not playing a victim, being more of a, I was more irritated with my mom. I was being triggered around my mom and I didn't know why. And in hypnosis, I discovered that it was because I felt resentment towards her for not leaving my dad. And I had no idea about that. I had no idea. But then once you know those things, that's when you can work on changing those things. But also, when we are living our lives that way, by, you know, playing this victim, stuck in the past, feeling the stuckness in the past as a victim, we need to learn new ways. We need to start changing our reality, because very often we are not able to let go because this became our reality. And if we want to let go, it feels like we're going to lose part of ourselves. And the thing is that we need to acknowledge that by letting it go, we are not saying that these things didn't happen. We are not saying that these things are not part of us. Yes, we are saying that, yes, this happened to us. Yes, it was really bad. It was really ugly. We shouldn't have gone through whatever we went through, but now it's time to heal. Now it's time to let go. And this is what we need to do. I believe I covered everything. This is how the healing process looks like. This is individual journey for all of us. We all are attaching to the victim role for different reasons. Some of us don't do it, are able to somehow disconnect from the past and live their lives happily, while some of us keep holding to the past. And I believe that complex PTSD plays a huge role in why we are doing it. But we need to give ourselves some love, and we need to remember that this is the healing process, this is our journey, and those things that are happening for a reason. So we can find the ways to heal, and we can start doing things like I am doing now, right? I progressed in my life, I started healing, and I thought to pass it on, the message to others, and I became in the whole process hypnotherapist as well. So remember that our subconscious is very, very powerful, but we also need to retrain it to create our new reality and be able to put this experiences in the past where they belong, so we can live in our present moment. And those practices are very, very important for us to do on daily basis. long time ago, one of my colleagues said to me, like, dude, you need to meditate, because she saw how I was overacting at work, and she was like, no, you need to meditate. And this is when I was introduced to meditation. It took me very, very long time to actually start doing it on a regular basis, start seeing benefits of it as well, start actually, because I didn't do it regularly. That's why I wasn't seeing the benefits. But once you start doing it every day, that's when you start shifting and noticing the difference. And please, please, please start doing it. And okay, and if you like what I am talking about here, please feel free to subscribe. If you feel that you would like to find the root cause of why you keep playing the role of victim, please feel free to go to my website and schedule a first discovery call, so we can see if we could do something about this. And you can also follow me on Instagram. And yeah, I hope this was helpful, and I see you next time. Big kisses. Bye.